It's time to bring in Tom Cotton. He is, of course, Senator from Arkansas. He's live from Tel Aviv, Israel, where he just met yesterday with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Chuck Todd is with us as well. We're going to get into politics in a minute, but first to you, Senator. Tell us about your meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. What came out of it?
Well, good afternoon from Tel Aviv. In my meetings with both the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister, we discussed the importance of continued U.S.-Israel cooperation, whatever happens on the vote in the Senate and the House later this month on the Iran deal, because this won't be the end of the story with Iran. They're going to continue their regional aggression, and in the long term, they're going to continue their push for nuclear weapons. So we need, between our two increased intelligence cooperation and coordination. We need continued military assistance for Israel so they can help us on the front lines of freedom. And we need to make it perfectly clear to Iran and all of Israel's adversaries that the U.S.-Israel alliance is strong and will remain strong in the future.
All right. On the deal itself, though, and trying to get your colleagues to vote against, it appears that you're losing this battle. So I guess my question is, why are you there and not back home trying to get your colleagues to maybe change their minds? Some might say you're more concerned right now about securing your own political future.
Well, there are not yet enough declared votes for the deal to override the president's expected veto. But more importantly, it's very disappointing that the president is going to move forward on such a consequential international agreement, not with a broad, bipartisan, cross-regional majority of the American people, not with a broad, bipartisan majority of the U.S. Senate, which is what a treaty would require, but rather with a bare minority, perhaps of 1/3 plus 1 votes of the House or the Senate. This will be truly unprecedented in the history of American foreign policy.
So the Obama administration would say that there was never a chance that that would happen. They would point to your letter with 47 senators to Iran, claiming that was unprecedented. What could the President of the United States and the administration have done early on to get buy-in from people like yourself?
Well, 2 years ago, before the interim agreement was reached, the House of Representatives, in which I served at the time, passed new sanctions with 400 votes out of 435 members that would impose tougher sanctions on Iran to continue to keep the pressure on them. Israel at the time was trying to keep the pressure on them as well, with continued pressure at that time and an insistence that Iran live up to its international obligations under the UN Security Council resolutions not to continue enriching uranium. Gotten a much better deal. But once we started down the path of conceding the right to enrich uranium to Iran and granting them sanctions relief just for coming to the table, I think that a bad deal was foreordained. And unfortunately, we're now going to have a deal that goes forward with a large majority vote of the Senate and the House against it and a large majority of the American people against it. And that truly is unprecedented.
All right, Senator Tom Cotton, thank you so much for being with us from Tel Aviv. We will talk to you when you get back home.